Some reputations are earned, others just happen. And once they do, it doesn't matter what's true. It sticks, it grows, and eventually it replaces you. This one started with a dumb comment in media class, and by the end of year 12, Gene wasn't a student anymore. He was a meme. And the worst part, he did half of the work himself. I don't even remember what they were studying. I was just supervising. Then, Anthony, all legs and privilege, flicks his perfect blonde hair and says in a cartoon British accent, "Thanks, Max, the gay waiter," to me. I just said, "That's sir to you," and kept walking. That's how you survive it. You don't feed the bit. You don't give it oxygen. You let the joke slide off like a tray with nothing on it. Gene, however, didn't. Gene wasn't gay. Gene wasn't a waiter. Gene had never carried anything heavier than his ego. But once the joke landed, he flinched. He argued. He fought the wind. That's the mistake. He thought it was about correction, as if you just protested hard enough, someone would go, "Oh, sorry, you're right, you're not a waiter." But it doesn't work like that. By mid-March, someone had written, "Ask Gene for today's specials," in the boys' toilets. Anthony brought a tea towel to school and draped it over his shoulder like he was about to plate up salmon linguine. Whiteboard menus started popping up in classrooms. Gene's section got scrawled across the common room. At lunchtime, laminated reservation signs appeared with his name on them. It wasn't bullying. Well, not really. No one hated Gene. And this wasn't cruelty. It was theatre. And Gene refused to learn his lines. The joke kept evolving. It grew like pressure under a lid. By term 3, it wasn't a gag. It was canon. Gene kept insisting it wasn't true. And every time he did, the joke got funnier. He wasn't a waiter. Never wore black trousers. Never polished cutlery. Never once said, "Enjoy your meal." But it didn't matter. Because no one cared what was real. They just liked the way it was played. And we all watched it happen. Maybe we didn't laugh as loud as Anthony, but no one told him to stop. Not once. And when the dead ball arrived in October, it felt inevitable. Anthony got the mic. He thanked the real catering staff. And then he turned to Gene and said, "This one goes out to Gene, the gay waiter." And then, "It's raining men," exploded from the speakers. Gene didn't make it to the chorus. He stormed out. Full suit, shoulders stiff, arms locked like he'd just been asked to clear table 7 and had finally had enough. No goodbyes. No eye contact. Just an emergency exit at a formal event. The music stumbled, then pushed on. Some kids laughed. A few teachers half stood, then sat back down, too slow to pretend they didn't love it. And Anthony, sipping Coke like a man who had just served the final course. I turned to Josh, tie undone, chewing a straw like it was savouring the irony. "What happened?" I asked. He didn't even look up. "He forgot Table 9's drinks," he said, then walked off. No smirk, no wink. Just the cold bureaucratic delivery of someone logging a service error. Jean never came back. Didn't finish the year. Didn't end up on socials. Didn't pop up on LinkedIn. Out of the whole year level, Jean is one of maybe 4 or 5 who vanished completely. I don't know what he's doing now. Sales? Maybe a trade. Or maybe working in a cafe in Coburg, and it all came true. But back then, he wasn't a waiter. That much I know. And maybe that's all it ever was. A shift he never applied for. A job he never wanted. And a joke he just couldn't laugh at. If you've made it this far, I've got more content you might enjoy. Hit the like button if you found this interesting, and take a look at the videos on your screen for more. Trust me, you won't want to miss them.